Hello and welcome to all of you viewing today's Sandra Rosenbaum School of Social Work graduation celebration for our part-time program MSW students. My name is Kristen Slack and I am serving as the interim director of the school this year. Before we get started, just a couple of details. For students, if you tag the school on Instagram, we will share your graduation posts today and throughout this coming week. Our Instagram handle is at UW-Madison Social Work, all one word. Also, this video will be available for viewing with closed captioning following the live event, so please save the link. Next, we begin with our school's land acknowledgement statement. The University of Wisconsin-Madison and the Sandra Rosenbaum School of Social Work occupy ancestral Ho-Chunk land, a place the Ho-Chunk Nation has called Dejope since time immemorial. In an 1832 treaty, the Ho-Chunk were forced to cede this territory. Decades of ethnic cleansing followed when both the federal and state government repeatedly but unsuccessfully sought to forcibly remove the Ho-Chunk from Wisconsin. This history of colonization informs our shared future of collaboration and innovation. Today, UW-Madison respects the inherent sovereignty of the Ho-Chunk Nation, along with the 11 other First Nations of Wisconsin. Like our graduates, with this celebration, my time here, at least in this role as school director, is coming to an end. So today is as bittersweet for me as it is for many of you. While we did not think we would once again, as last year, be holding our graduation celebration virtually, one silver lining is that many family members and friends who may not have been able to travel to attend an in-person celebration have the chance to be here today. Welcome to all of you. I realize that many of you attending today may not have a full understanding of what the social work profession is all about. It's been my experience after over 30 years in the field that most of the general public and even colleagues from other disciplines and professions that regularly interface with social workers don't have a good sense of what social work is. Part of the reason for this lack of understanding is that social work is an incredibly multifaceted profession. Our professional view of the world is that every individual, every family, every group of people exists in a larger context comprised of a wide array of communities, tribes, organizations, systems, cultures, and society at large, all of which have historical legacies that carry forward great strengths, but that can also carry forward traumatic pasts. Our professional goals include a heavy emphasis on pursuing and achieving social justice, and this means recognizing and confronting inequitable practices and policies which too often have their roots in racism, classism, and other forms of oppression and discrimination. Social work as a profession has been working to confront these roots, and our students, along with our faculty and staff in many national and regional social work organizations and peer schools of social work, this effort. Social workers need to learn not only to identify how all of these different layers of the environment and historical factors affect and impact people, but also how to navigate them and how to advocate for changes within and across them. We tell our students to start where the client is, but this means assessing and understanding the complexities of each person's histories and lived contexts and how our own positionality, beliefs, and biases may affect those we work with. This all requires extensive knowledge and tremendous skill, but also humility, continual self-reflection, and a great degree of fearlessness. This past year has been so challenging for everyone at the school, but uniquely challenging for our students. On top of the challenges of the pandemic, extreme political and social unrest fueled by a traumatic and seemingly endless string of racial and social injustices have taken a deep emotional and physical toll on us, but especially on our students, staff, and faculty of color. Those of you here supporting a loved one who is graduating, I know you have seen firsthand or are aware of the hard work your graduate has put in during one of the most extraordinary periods of time in recent history. But I want to just say that our students graduating this year are themselves nothing short of extraordinary. We are incredibly proud of them, and what they have accomplished this year in particular is extraordinary. We are proud of them as they continue or move into the next phase of their professional lives, and you can be assured that the people and the communities they serve are in very good hands. At this time, I would like to introduce the director of the Part-Time MSW Program, Angela Willits, and the Eau Claire site director, Michelle Helmer.
Thank you, Christy. Hello, social work graduates, family, and friends. While we wish we could be together in person to celebrate your huge achievement, the faculty and staff at the school want you to know that we are so proud of you. We recognize your effort, determination, and diligence in attaining the MSW degree. We rejoice in all that you have learned, in the enduring friendships you have made during your time in the program, and in everything you will do as a social worker in the future to address injustice and alleviate suffering in this world. Certainly, we need you now more than ever.
We also want to recognize the people in your lives who took the journey with you, your family and friends, who have been instrumental in supporting you through the very tough parts of this journey, who know the sacrifices you've made along the way and experience some of their own sacrifices as well to support you in achieving your goals. Graduates, we invite you to take a moment to thank those with you who have helped you in your journey.
Graduates, we look forward to the many positive contributions you will make in your agencies, your communities, and our profession. You will be needed more than ever to help our society recover from this pandemic, as well as the impact of systemic racism, sexism, classism, transphobia, and other forms of oppression affecting the communities we serve. You will play an important role in not only helping our families and communities get back on their feet, but also in helping to rebuild a more just society moving forward. And now it is my pleasure to introduce our MSW student speaker from the Madison site, Tony Utree, a graduate in the mental health focus area.
Thank you, Angela. Congratulations, fellow graduates, and happy Mother's Day to all the moms joining us. Personally, it seems a little serendipitous to graduate on Mother's Day. As may be the case for some of my fellow graduates, my mother was one of my first major influences in my journey to become a social worker. Her belief in dedicating one's life work to enacting positive change in the world was instilled to me through many years of watching her serve her community at home and abroad. Today, let us recognize the strength of belief. Our belief in ourselves in the field of social work has been the fuel which has allowed us to persist with resilience to this long-awaited destination. You have arrived. Here we are, poised atop a mountaintop of success, grateful for the experience gained on the journey, tired from the effort, and for now, enjoying the view as we reflect together on our shared accomplishment. As I stand upon this summit with you, I am filled with gratitude and honored to represent our graduating class with a few statements of well-deserved recognition and a celebratory send-off. Those graduating in our networks of support understand today's milestone required more than time, effort, and money. It required many of us to dedicate our lives fully to this endeavor as we balance school, our internships, jobs, relationships, family, health, losses in our personal lives, and much more. The value of our individual sacrifices and compromises has now paid off as we all walk together and could get our conferred degrees in the Masters of Social Work. Your belief in yourself, your classmates, and an ability to become a difference maker in the world gave you the strength needed to survive these long months filled with uncertainty and trepidation. Your belief will continue to be one of your greatest strengths. Let's be honest, it's gotten you through 3 COVID-impacted semesters, and we are the first and hopefully the only cohort to ever have that experience. Today's achievement and celebration is not ours alone. On behalf of all graduates today, I would like to express the infinite gratitude we hold for our spouses, significant others, parents, siblings, children, friends, and other important contributors. Thank you for your belief, for simply believing in us lent us your strength as well. Thank you for your understanding, support, and love. And thank you for being alongside us in our pursuit to serve a greater cause than ourselves. Thank you also to the School of Social Work staff and faculty for your tireless efforts to equip us with the knowledge and tools which will be instrumental in our practice as social work professionals. It was no easy feat to transition learning and field activities online this past year, and your efforts are commendable. Your belief in educating the next generation of social workers provided the foundation for a successful pathway through this program. We are grateful for those that have dedicated their time and energy to providing a valuable experience. Graduates, as we stand upon the precipice of success and cross the threshold from student to professional, let us recognize the world in which we began this journey is not the one in which we ended. A global pandemic served to magnify the myriad disparities in systems such as education, healthcare, employment, and government representation, to name a few. Though we are all impacted in different ways, we have all been affected by the socio-political division and racial violence our country and world as the fight for equality and inclusion rages on. Though often the realities of our world can bring sadness, the belief and dedication we bring to the field of social work bring hope when matched with our passionate intentions. And while many people simply hope for a better future, today's graduates are all people who believe with determination something most others may not. We believe the values of social work, manifested in the efforts of its practitioners, can change the world. As the saying goes, smooth seas do not make for skilled sailors. Over the past few years, we seem to find ourselves living in a world where the only constant seems to be wave after wave of change. As social workers, we have freely chosen to be the lifeguards in this ocean of chaos we call human existence. We have been trained to recognize those in distress, and we all have the will and courage to dive in and intervene when the situation calls for us to do so. Not all are so brave, nor so daring, but you are. Your belief in the value of empathy, compassion, and equity may not seem to some like a superpower, but in a world where the oppressive systems must be disrupted and some replaced, these beliefs will be one of your strongest assets. And while none of us may have seen or view ourselves as a superhero, we will not cower when faced with overwhelming odds. We will dig our heels in and leverage every strength, skill, and piece of wisdom we have learned in our program and field placements to overcome the villainous forces in society who stand in the way of eliminating oppression and marginalization. It has been an honor to rise through this program with all of you and now stand amidst the next generation of social workers. My heart and soul are full of admiration and gratitude for each of you, and I wish you all well in your future careers. It is with joy and hope I envision the exponential lives that we will all make a difference in as we go forth as change makers in the world. Each of us only has this one life, and each of us has freely chosen to give and share pieces of that life with others who are experiencing pain and suffering in this world. Each of us is willing to offer tethers of hope to those who are suffering, is exasperated by the inequalities of our society. Each of us should be proud of our chosen path through the School of Social Work. The dedication, compassion, and resiliency you've demonstrated over the past few years is remarkable. It is with great pride I now refer to you no longer as classmates, but as colleagues and fellow Badger alumni. Badgers cover the globe, utilizing the education and experience from their time on campus to improve the world around them. Around the world, many hold the belief that Badgers, when they show up, are here to help, not just their society, but their communities as well. I am immensely confident each of us will represent that standard in our careers. Your passion, belief, and resolve will be a light that penetrates the darkest depths of our society to bring hope to those much in need of it. I believe in you, fellow Badgers, and I believe we will all be positive forces of change in this world. On Wisconsin, and thank you.
Thank you, Tony, for those inspiring words. It is now my pleasure to introduce our MSW student speaker from the Eau Claire site, Ashley Osten, a graduate in the Child, Youth, and Family Welfare focus area.
Thank you, Michelle, and thank you, Tony, for those wonderful words. Good afternoon, my fellow Badger social workers. To all graduating students, family, friends, faculty, and staff, thank you so much for being here to celebrate and acknowledge the amazing accomplishments everyone has achieved today. If you participated in graduation yesterday, I hope you jumped around as hard as I did. For the moms in the crowd, happy Mother's Day. I am so grateful for the love and support my mom has given me while in this program and throughout my life. I am also holding space today for those who are grieving or do not celebrate Mother's Day for a multitude of reasons. Just know that we see you and we hear you. I hope that each person participating today is extremely proud of themselves for finishing their MSW, and just know that I am consistently impressed and amazed by each of you for your commitment to the social work profession, both in the classroom and in the field. I just want to start by acknowledging the extraordinary circumstances we have all been through during the COVID-19 pandemic and the significant losses that many of us have experienced as a result. Some have lost family members, friends, and loved ones. Some have lost their job security and income, and we have all in some way or another had to figure out a new way of life and learning. Second, I want to take a moment to remember all of the lives lost, not only to the COVID-19 pandemic, but to the countless incidents of social injustice and brutality. This year has been challenging in so many ways, but it has also reminded me of why we're all here in the first place: to take a stand against injustice and to build supportive relationships across communities to promote equity, inclusion, and the dignity and worth of all people. So when I first started this program, I did not have a BSW, so I, like many others, have been attending classes every Saturday for the last 4 years. Over these years, I've continuously been amazed by the intelligence, kindness, and camaraderie within my cohort and within the Part-Time MSW program in general. When I first began this journey, I was unsure of what to expect from the classes in Eau Claire, or if it would even feel like I was getting my degree from Madison at all. However, the Eau Claire site far exceeded my expectations. We wore Badgers gear on game days, we held potlucks, engaged with super supportive faculty and professors, and we grew so close as a community. Even though we weren't physically in Madison, we were still Badgers. I cannot say enough good things about this program. All of my professors have been extremely knowledgeable in the subject material and have been supportive of students who are pursuing a higher education while also dealing with the larger context of their lives. I personally have formed lifelong friendships with my classmates, and I cannot express enough gratitude to my cohort for the support we have all given each other throughout the years. One of my favorite quotes from an anonymous author states, "Great things never came from comfort zones." We all stepped outside of our comfort zones at some point throughout our time in this program. By taking the leap to apply, challenging our pre-existing knowledge and beliefs, and by putting ourselves into new situations that we weren't always sure about. But look at where we are now. Each and every one of us has put in so much work, and today is an example of just how much that hard work pays off when you step outside of your comfort zone. So no matter where your social work career takes you, I hope that you continue to try each day to take a step outside of your comfort zone and strive to be a lifelong learner. I know each and every one of you will continue to do great things and will take our social work profession even further. Congratulations to the class of 2021. I am so proud of everyone and cannot wait to see all of the great work that you do for our profession. Thank you to family, friends, professors, staff, and classmates who have all helped each other throughout the way. And with that, I will leave you. Go Badgers! Thank you.
Thank you, Ashley, for that heartfelt message. Hi, I'm Amanda Angola, the Associate Director of Field Education. At this time, we will hear from each of our field faculty as they recognize their field units, beginning with Heidi Frank's Mental Health Field Unit at the Eau Claire site.
Hello, thanks, Amanda. Our field unit was located in Eau Claire, Wisconsin. 12 students have truly worked so hard to accomplish their goals and completing their master's degree. Students in our field unit were placed in many locations, including New Richmond, Wausau, and Toma, to name a few. They completed their internships in hospitals, outpatient behavioral health units, and day treatment centers, and a crisis hotline agency. Many of the students were offered employment by their internship agency, which only reinforces the amazing work that they accomplished there. It is my pleasure and honor to work with them and now call them colleagues. Next, we will hear from Jody Gillespie for the Child, Youth, and Family Welfare Field Unit at the Eau Claire site.
Thank you, Heidi. Good afternoon, everyone. I am honored to speak to you today about the students and now graduates in the Children, Youth, and Family Welfare Unit. Students in this unit gain experience in school social work or working in initial assessment or case management and child protection. Students may work with children and families who are experiencing struggles with mental health, poverty, substance use, and abuse or neglect. Most students go on to become school social workers or work in child welfare agencies, including county and tribal child protection. As a result of their learning and placement experience, they are prepared to provide person-centered and strength-based approaches in order to support and mitigate the challenges their students or clients may face. They have developed and demonstrated that they have skills to support and provide resources to children, youth, and families that will work with in the future and will do so in an ethical, culturally sensitive, and competent way. Congratulations, graduates, and thank you.
Thank you, Jody. We will now recognize the field units from the Madison site, beginning with Naomi Takahashi's Mental Health Field Unit. Naomi couldn't be with us today, so I have the privilege of telling you a bit about her field unit. This past year, I've been in awe of the students in my mental health field unit, not only because they've shown resiliency through learning in a pandemic and participating in virtual class, and not just because of the number of hours driving, internship, class, homework throughout their years in the program, but also in the way they've shown understanding of cultural humility and vulnerability and their support of one another in a year where interpersonal connection has been hard and the losses overwhelming. Students in my unit were placed in a wide variety of agencies, including outpatient mental health clinics, emergency rooms, community-based, in-home, and private practice settings. Through these placements, they've gained experience in the assessment and diagnosis of mental health problems such as depression and substance use, and developed psychotherapy skills to provide mental health services in a culturally sensitive way. Many of these students plan to continue clinically and go on to become licensed clinical social workers and have a range of career options, including working with clients with serious mental illness or perhaps working as a therapist in outpatient mental health centers. As a result of their exposure to the generalist model, many students will also go on to be supervisors and innovators in the mental health field, as well as choose paths in macro social work and larger policy and systems advocacy. Congratulations to this incredible cohort of students who all have a bright future in social work. Next, we'll have Holly Pigel's Mental Health Field Unit. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Amanda. Hello, everyone. Students in my mental health field unit also gained similar skills to those in Naomi's. Knowledge such as assessing and diagnosing, treating a wide range of mental health and substance use disorders by utilizing a variety of evidence-based practices in a culturally sensitive manner. Students have completed field placements working with children, adults, in a wide variety of settings, including outpatient mental health, AODA clinics, forensic settings, and various other agencies. Many of these students will be pursuing their LCSW licensure and are well on their way by having taken and passed the state and national exams. We are so lucky to have them joining us in this amazing field of social work, and I couldn't be more proud. Congratulations. And next we'll be hearing from Teresa Fischler for the Health and Aging Field Unit. Thank you.
Thank you, Holly. The Health and Aging Field Seminar students this year were a dedicated group of 5 students who had field placements in Dane County and Milwaukee in settings such as the VA, outpatient clinics, senior coalitions, and healthcare association policy practice settings. We, like other classes, met via BB Collaborate, which seems so long ago, and Zoom, and had that one in-person class where we were masked and socially distanced, but at all times the students in this class were engaged, open, and worked hard to serve clients in this challenging pandemic. In those settings, the students developed interprofessional practice skills, conducted individual assessment and direct practice work. They engaged in advocacy and social justice work while practicing with cultural humility and competence. After graduation, students have a variety of career opportunities ahead of them here in Wisconsin or maybe beyond. In direct practice, in medical or healthcare settings, community agencies, clinical settings, or long-term care. Some may work on systems change and policy development. You may move into supervisory roles, but you are all leaders. I want to congratulate you on being nimble, tenacious, curious, advocates for social justice, and steadfast in your support for each other and your commitment to being professional social workers. You faced challenges head on, and you did a great job. Congratulations. And now, last but not least, we have Jenny Browngen's Child, Youth, and Family Welfare Field Unit.
Thank you so much, Teresa. I'm Jenny Browngen, the field faculty for our Children, Youth, and Family Welfare Field Unit from the Madison Part-Time MSW Program, and I'm extremely pleased and honored to introduce to you this year's graduating students in my unit. Students in this unit focus on a vast variety of public, private, and educational field placements that support families and children through direct practice as well as policy work. It is wonderful to have such a cross-section of placements and students in our group. This year's class have interned in person, virtually, hybrid models, and all combination throughout this whole year. The student internships have been in numerous school settings around the state, several county human services departments, and in family group conferencing. All of them were working directly with children, families, and teachers during these COVID times, which of course added extra challenges as well as learning opportunities. The school social work students focused on supporting youth in schools who face barriers in our educational system, facing from systemic racism, trauma, other mental health issues, poverty, learning challenges, just to name a few. They work one-on-one in settings, groups, classrooms, as well as with parents through home visits, collaboration with other agencies, and doing staff development. Our students working directly in county human services departments and family group conferencing supported families in ongoing case settings, family reunification, doing evaluations and assessments, and other areas of support and advocacy. Everyone also focused on policy and program implementation, equity and inclusion issues, change areas needed in the social work profession, as well as addressing systemic issues in their specific placements. This year's class is a very supportive and close-knit group who have all had each other's backs throughout this whole year. I will miss them all very much. And our social work field is very lucky that they have chosen this as their profession. And now I would like to welcome back Angela for our closing.
Thank you, Jenny. And thank you to all of our field faculty for acknowledging and honoring these amazing students, as well as for all your incredible work this year to support them along this journey. So now for the official part, candidates for a master's in social work, upon the recommendation of the faculty of the School of Social Work and our accrediting body, the Council on Social Work Education, we present the degree of Master of Social Work. Yay! Family and loved ones watching with your graduate, please join me in congratulating your MSW graduate. Okay, before we end, I would like to thank our student speakers, Tony and Ashley, and all of our field faculty and staff who participated in today's celebration. And a really big special thank you to our staff who worked behind the scenes to make this event run smoothly. Gerald Eggleston, Steph Van Pay, and Aaron Rosh. We had no technical difficulties, which is just amazing. So thank you for all of your work on this. Thank you for joining us for this virtual graduation celebration. And congratulations to our MSW class of 2021.